Do the things that you have to do today in order to do the things you want to do tomorrow. It comes to a point in time where you're going to go through times of uncertainty, doubt, fear, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day you have to neglect that. The reason for this is because when you have these little glimpses of your potential and you see that the work you start to put in on not only yourself but also your craft, and you start to get a glimpse at how good life can be, there are going to be challenges and circumstances that you must overcome in order to get to the next level. And I think for me, some of those instances were kind of self-inflicted. I put myself in uncomfortable situations so that I could grow, and I know that it was only going to make me better. And I knew that it was just almost like a level up in your my player on 2K. So I kind of just look at it life like that. Like, all right, well, if I want to get better at a jump shot, I got to shoot jumpers. If I want to get better at laying the ball up, finishing on the rim, I got to do that. If I want to get better at dribbling, I have to dribble. If I want to get better at defense, I have to play defense. If I want to get better at having a higher level IQ, I need to watch film. That's kind of how I look at life and who I am and my archetype or whatnot. So for me, it's just really being able to understand and figure out what things I need to learn. Prime example in real estate. I knew I didn't really know terminology like that. I want to familiarize myself and get better because I knew the person that had everything I desired within real estate knew what the terms and abbrevities meant throughout the industry. Cap rates, ROIs, NOIs, IRRs, all the shit you name it, loan to values, all that shit. So I made sure that I knew that shit like the back of my hand. And what did I do? Went on YouTube, look up these videos. I literally wrote down with definitions. I have a notebook filled with notes. I would listen to podcasts. I would just watch it over and over and over again so it's stuck in my head. And now that I'm familiarized with those terms, I can teach people like, oh, this is what that means. This is what this means. And honestly, it's not so much about being the teacher. It's about the person I became in the process to learn that. So now I'm doing bigger deals. Like every deal that I've worked on so far is an 8-figure deal. 8-figure deal. I'm working on one close to 9-figure deal. But I just say that to say is like the buildings, the as you walk the path that you want to walk, the path illuminates as you walk it. So there's going to be points in time where you're going to have to take that risk. You're going to have to take that leap of faith. And really, this is you versus you. So you just have to do it. No one else is coming to save you. No one's going to be like, yeah, you should do it. You're going to people that say, yeah, you should do it. But yeah, you shouldn't do it. No matter what the fuck the case may be. You have to know and do what's best for you, because if you don't and you live a life for other people, then you'll never get what it is that you generally want. You'll be you'll be literally living someone else's book when you are the author of your own book, and you can literally write your own. You have the book, it's just blank, and you need to start writing it so that you have a life that's worth living, that you were able to build on your own, brick by brick, day by day, month by month, year by year. And understanding like what it is that you want, like what you have to understand is that this shit is going to be a challenge. And the reason why I say it's going to be a challenge, and I just ended up accepting it. I knew it was going to be a challenge. I knew it was going to be hard, but I just accepted it. The reason why I accepted it was just because like I knew where I wanted to go. And if that meant sacrificing now to have the life I want for tomorrow, I was willing to do it. It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice now to get the things that you want in the long term? What did I sacrifice? Sacrifice partying a little bit. Sacrifice fucking with a bunch of girls for a little bit. Sacrifice spending a bunch of money for a little bit. Sacrifice fucking... What else did I fucking sacrifice? Just doing a bunch of bullshit and indulging in the vices. Like, I just gave all that shit up. Obviously, that shit is definitely fun. Don't get me wrong. But there's also a time and place where you have to lock in for the greater good. You know, obviously I did those things sometimes, but it wasn't like a reoccurring thing. I had a bigger purpose, and I knew my why was greater than fucking with a bunch of girls at the time and just indulging in a bunch of bullshit. And this was when I was 18. I was a freshman in college. You know, freshman year of college, like once you get on campus, bro, you see some Knew like euros and shit, like that shit is very tempting, don't get me wrong. But I just knew in the back of my head, like my why, and my why was so strong that I didn't even care. I wasn't even talk. There was hoes that wanted to fuck with me, and I just didn't give them the time of day because I was just so locked in on me. And obviously, it definitely paid off because now I can literally just do whatever the fuck I want. But I had to go through that phase in my life in order for me to get to where I am today. And it gets to a point where you have to be willing to sacrifice now for the long term benefit. And I'm not saying you guys have to do this. I'm just saying this is what I did. But it gets to a point where when you overindulge in some of these things that can be distractions. And with me, I just didn't want anything to distract me because I was tired of where I was. I was tired of being me. I was tired of where I was. So at that point, I just wanted to become somebody different. And it just starts with the great reset. And with that great reset, it was just days of being alone, figuring out who I was, who I wanted to become, and whatnot. So those little things that I did in my alone time, reading, listening to podcasts, watching videos, working out, all those things led up to me getting into this position I am today. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you need to do certain things, the X, Y, and Z, because everyone's path is going to be different. There's no real one way to have success. There's several different ways, but you just have to figure out what it is that you want and what are you willing to do and what are you willing to sacrifice to get to it. Maybe you may not necessarily have to do the things that I just mentioned. Maybe you can have it all and do it all. But I know for me and how soon I wanted this shit, like I'm not gonna be no 30-year-old driving in a nice car. Like I'm gonna be in my 20s balling. I'm already in my 20s balling. So it's just like it's just what is it that you generally want, you know? And for me, I knew that I wanted to eat at nice ass restaurants. I wanted to have nice ass cars. I wanted to be around the baddest women possible. I wanted to buy whatever I want without looking at the price tag. I don't give a fuck how much food is. I don't give a fuck how much gas is. I don't give a fuck about how much shit is at all. I wanted to just do what I want, when I want, however I want. If I want to go get the fuck up and go play golf at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, I'll go do it. I don't care. You know, so you have to kind of reverse engineer everything and really figure out what it is that you want and come to realize, like, if you are indifferent to the people around you and they want different things, it's okay. You are destined to have these things if you already know you want it internally. And there's a version of you that already exists, that already has that thing, and you just need to circumvent that process to become that person. Now, how do you become like that person? Walk, talk, and act as if you're that person today. How would that person think? How would that person walk? How would that person talk? How would that person think? How would they carry themselves? How would they dress? What would they eat? What are their daily habits? What do they do in the morning? What do they do in their afternoons? What do they do in their evenings? Really reverse engineer everything and start taking action to that person right now and act as if you're already him. And once you realize that, like, it all starts with you. Fuck what's going on outside of you. If you're in fucked up circumstances, whatever the case may be, all this shit is mental. If you tell yourself you're fucked up, you're gonna be fucked up. But the moment you tell yourself, like, hey, I'm good, bro, like, I'm gonna bounce back, or yeah, I already know I'm this person, whoop de whoop de whoop, I don't worry about that shit anymore. Da 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 da. Those are the steps that you have to take because no one else is gonna do it for you. No one else is gonna be on your shoulder like, hey, bro, like, don't do that. Like, you know, the shit is not getting you closer to your goals or anything like that. Like, no one's gonna be that accountability. So you have to be your number one motivator, accountability partner, fucking someone that's gonna push you. All three of these things have to be you. You have to be all of them, and you have to take an audit of it exactly what it is that you're doing on a daily basis. Because that accountability index is gonna be like, damn, like I really fucked off today. Like I gotta get back at it tomorrow. Or I did a lot of things today and I'm proud of myself. And once you start building these daily wins, you build more confidence, and that confidence will allow you to take more risk. And those more risks will allow you to get more rewards and and you'll be way closer to getting the life that you generally want. The shit is a system, you know? And once you build the system out for yourself, then everything else becomes easier. Once you become that person, you just start attracting things. Like me, for example, like I attract people that are in the industry that I haven't even met. Like I'll literally be at the gym and I'll start talking to somebody and be like, oh yeah, I do real estate too. And I'll be like, what the fuck? Like I just literally went up to him and was like, hey, like, prime example. I went up to this guy at the gym. I was kind of shooting the shit with him. I was like, hey, you look like you're doing well for yourself. What do you do? And come to realize, like, he was someone that owned a glasses store, and it just so happened I was already buying glasses from his store. So it's just shit like that. Like, that's one example. And then there was this other dude that I would play basketball with, and I was like, hey, what do you do? Da 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 da. He was like, yeah, I'm in real estate. I'm in construction. Whoop de whoop de whoop. I'm like, oh shit, like, that's crazy. And it's crazy how this shit works, because it's real. Once you realize that this manifestation shit, and like frequency and the energy and shit, like, that shit is real, bro. Because the moment you start becoming the person that is incongruent with who you want to become, where you are, in whatever industry you want to pursue, those like-minded people will just naturally come. It's crazy how this shit works. I can't explain it unless you ever been through it. But for me, a lot of the people that I've been able to meet at my gym are in real estate. A lot of them. I just spoke with a guy that works at a big, really big company in finance, and he's willing to give me a loan on a commercial development deal. Like, it's crazy how fast this shit has come along. So for me, it's just like doubling down on the things that I'm already doing, and I already know at some point this shit's all going to benefit in the end. So you just must realize, what are you willing to sacrifice now in the short term in order to reap the reward on the long term. Prime example, this is another example, right? So when I came out of high school, I wasn't a social person at all. Literally, I would literally just be like to myself and just talk to the friends that I had. Now, I knew that I wanted to do real estate. I knew that I was going to be very exceptional at what I did. And what did I do? I was like, real estate is about talking to people, communicating with people. I know the version of me he would know how to talk to anybody and build relationships just like this. So once I had that seed in my head, I was like, how would this person have conversations with people throughout the day? How would he talk? How would he ask certain questions? So what I ended up doing, just to get my feet wet, is I would just have small talk in the elevators, clerks, teachers, whatever the case may be. Hey, how's your day going? How was your weekend? What did you end up doing? And it wasn't like, oh, some of them became friendships, but it was more so for me to just get the repetition under my belt of how to talk to people, you know? Starting with small talk. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It's really just breaking the ice and building that confidence and just being quick to like understand what they're saying, give them questions, and build rapport with one another instantly. Like, it would be times where I would literally be on the elevator talking with somebody for 5-10 minutes, and that's just how the conversation went. Or it might have been a quick 30-second, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? Where are you from? Da 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 da. Enjoy your day. It just depends. It just depended on the situation, you know. But I say that to say is like, when you are willing to sacrifice, and you're willing to sacrifice your current self to become the better version of you by doing the things that you know your better version would do, that's when life really starts to change, and everything else outside of you starts to bend. Like, reality just bends to your will. It's crazy how this shit works. I can't really explain it unless you ever really been through it, because you guys may be like, oh, he's talking about some woo-woo shit. Like, no, this shit is real. And honestly, just try it for yourself. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? If you're already in a not so great circumstance now, the only way is up. Think about it. Really think about it. If you're already on the ground, where else is there to go? Up. You can't go down in the ground. And even if you do, okay, the only way is up. So I just want to say, the world is yours. The world is in your hands. The world is your oyster. But it's up to you to make that shit happen. And I know you can. Go fucking get it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. That's it for today's video. And I'll see y'all in the next one.